All right, let's hear this.
A government to name an area that Israel.
And I'm going to give the Hodge twins a break here since they're not the ones answering the question.
Because that's something God named in the Bible to a family, Jacob's family and his descendants. Would you say that's sacrilegious, or am I saying this all wrong? For a government to give land.
So, like the modern nation state of Israel,
Right,
compared to like what's going on in the Old Testament and all that. I think that it's like the modern nation state was set up to be essentially an atheistic, quasi-socialist, almost kind of a New World Order project. It was established under the British Empire. And the British Empire the British Empire was run by the Rothschilds more or less at that time. So this is pretty much a Rothschild project, in tandem with the rest of what's called the Atlanticist power bloc, which is just Western civilization basically at that time.
Okay, now let's just go from here. If everybody on earth is a sinner and absolute power absolutely corrupts, who else would set up this nation for the Jews?
So I think they wanted a geostrategic location to be in the Middle East, to be kind of a...
It's not geostrategic. I mean, it might be because it's... some say it's the geometric center of the land mass on Earth. Obviously, we know it to be God or Yeshua, the apple of God or Yeshua's eye. But I do believe it was put on their hearts to create it for a nation state for the Jews.
A landing base for the West, and eventually I think what happened is that it became very much a power block of its own.
It's owned by America and Britain, so it's backed by their full weight and power. So that's just inevitable.
We had a lot of subversion of our government through operatives.
Nobody subverted us. We own it. It's in our best interest to take care of it.
Part of the Epstein-Maxwell stuff was that kind of compromise. So
even if Epstein was a Jew, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's running anything, or that had anything to do with the nation of Israel being created.
I don't think that the modern nation state of Israel is necessarily identical to what the Old Testament theological...
It's exactly identical, because God is allowing it to be created. God has the Jews back there. It's just that God has to use them in their fallen state. Otherwise he'd have to discard them and make himself a liar.
Significance of Israel is. I think it's the same loose people group. There are still Jews. Like there's some people that think that there's no more Jews in regard to the Old Testament Jews. I do think
God says he would never allow the Jews to be destroyed. There would always be a remnant. If they weren't the remnant, then he'd be a liar.
I think they're the same people group. When you read the church fathers, they still continue after rabbinic Judaism comes about in the 4th and 5th century. They still speak of Jews as Jews. But the idea that the secular atheist nation state is the fulfillment of some promise is an evangelical mistake.
No, it's a lunatic secular mistake, because God is using them just like he uses evil people every day to fulfill his will. The whole the Sadducees, Pharisees, the high priest, the judges, the Herod, all them guys thought they were doing the right thing. They were killing him to get rid of him. That shut the story down. But the Bible says, God says, Yeshua says that if they'd known what they were doing, they would have killed him. They wouldn't have killed him. So, these evil people are building this nation for their gain, for their profit, to terrorize whoever, whatever. That's what you guys believe. That's probably true. They're evil, but we know why they're evil. evil because their hearts have been hardened so that we have a chance at salvation to be grafted in. But remember, they are there because God has them there, and He's prepping the land, He's prepping the people, and He's got to use evil people to do it. You know, regardless if He's got to use evil people. But that's even in the story of Nebuchadnezzar. It's proof. He gets up there, starts pounding his chest. I'm the greatest. I did this. I did that. And God comes and tells him, no. I'm the guy that puts you in power. I'm the guy that gives you the mind and the fortitude to get it done. So this guy right here is a clown. He's sadly mistaken. He's the one that's been fooled. Yes, the people in Israel might not be all that wonderful, but they're going to get theirs in the end. They're going to get their spanking, and Israel will be created, or will be there. Again, bless and pray for them. Bless them and pray for them, because without them, we never had a chance.